Bloons TD4. We're going down generations of Bloons game here. I'll play medium because I've got to unlock stuff. So I don't wanna make it too hard to start off with. This game was a big deal for me as a kid. It was my first Bloons game. I had it on my iPod Touch. And let me tell you about this iPod Touch, man. There was... I can't get the... Why can't I get that? Oh, I can't afford it. It doesn't have like a sound effect when you try to choose something that you can't afford. I completely didn't. Anyway, I had this iPod Touch as a kid, and I was very lucky to have it because I was in like late primary school, like P6, P7. Most people didn't have phones. I didn't have a phone. iPod Touch isn't really a phone, but like functionally, it's basically a phone. Like if someone had a device with all the capabilities of an iPod Touch right now, you'd call it a phone. It's not the best phone, but like it's definitely a phone. So I was quite happy to have this, and I used to have so many games on it. It was one of the main ways I gamed, honestly, as a kid. Because when I was in school, I would play games on the like laptops in the school, and when I got home, I would play on my iPod. I had a lot of like PS2 games and stuff, and I did play those, but when I got to a certain point, and I think it was approaching that transition from high school to or primary school to high school, I was on my iPod a lot, and I had this game, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be telling you this story, but I also had like Flappy Bird, obviously, what's it called, Fruit Ninja. Fruit Ninja was a classic. I loved unlocking all the different swords and stuff. There was one, it was like a black sword. It was like a shadow blade or something. And you had to get like a specific score in the classic mode. You had to get like, oh, it was like get a score of 763. And it's like, how the hell am I going to get 3 points specifically, you know? I remember not being able to unlock that probably ever, but certainly for a long time. If I ever did unlock it, I don't remember doing that, but yeah, that iPod Touch meant a lot to me. I had this game called Backflip Madness, which if you watched like Jacksepticeye probably back in the day. And I don't know when back in the day is specifically. I guess probably around 2013, 2014. That's probably about right. Backflip Madness. I think a few YouTubers played it. It was basically I think it was basically like a 2-button game. You could like jump off of stuff and do a backflip. So you would have a button to jump and a button to like tuck in the body of the character so that he would do like a spin in the air. I remember playing that game a ton. I had Terraria on my phone. Terraria on mobile is actually pretty good. Like, I still prefer to play it on PC if I'm gonna play Terraria, but I would say it's better than the like Xbox versions and stuff. The console versions of Terraria kind of off-putting because you don't have the precision to tap things, and like on a mobile screen you can just tap where you want to attack, or where you want to like dig stuff. And on target last. And on PC, obviously, you can just click, there's no issue. But on Xbox, they kind of have to find a way for it to work with the right analog stick. Which, to its credit, the game is quite playable. You know, it's like pretty good, but it's just not my preference. And it does limit you in the way of like being able to multitask properly. Because in Terraria, you can like move around and be targeting a specific part of the screen while you do that, but it's kind of harder to do on the Xbox version. I remember watching Stampy Longhead, famed Minecraft YouTuber. I never watched his Minecraft content. Maybe I was like, oh, I'm too old for that stuff. Like that's kid stuff. But I did watch his Terraria series. Yeah, I watched his Terraria series. I found it deeply entertaining, especially because he made a lot more progress in that game than I ever did as a kid. As a kid, I definitely made it to hard mode. Like, I beat the Wall of Flesh at least a couple times. Fuck, I don't have camo detection. Where am I supposed to get it with this, like, setup? Like, which of these towers gain camo detection? I guess Spike Factory gets it. That's like the best answer I can come up with, honestly. But yeah, this is kind of weird. I remember seeing my like older nephew. I have an older nephew. This is a weird situation. But I remember seeing him play this game. And being like, oh, I need that. Like, I need to get this game. But the thing is, it did cost money on mobile. You had to pay, like, it probably wasn't a lot. But I didn't have an income, obviously, being a child. So you have to wait, right? Like, that's what I did. I waited until I got money for some reason. Usually, birthday or Christmas were the main ones. And, like, being limited in that way kind of humbles you, because it's like, oh, you know, you wait for 2 events in the year. For me, March 8th is when I was born, and for everyone, 25th of December is when Christmas is. Obviously, not everyone celebrates Christmas, but at least it happens at that time of year for everyone. And what am I saying? Yeah, I think it is humbling to kind of have that experience of, I'm waiting until this point in the year, and it's not even like that much when I do get like birthday money and stuff. Like, it's not a lot of money. We're talking like £40 or £50, which, you know, is a decent chunk of change when you're like 12 years old. But it doesn't buy you every game you want. You have to be smart about it. And of course, I'm not going to be smart about it. Of course, I'm not going to be smart about it. I'm like an idiot, right? Because I'm a kid, and kids are stupid. Oh, that's a lot of damage. There must be a better way. What if I put down the beacon? Do you think I can get an upgrade to reveal camos? It doesn't even seem like it. Like, I know the beacon's the early version of the... I've got to get all the way... I spent so much money on this. Like 3,000 just to get camo detection. So bad. Also, I feel like my only option here is to, like, put a bunch of towers down. Like, usually in 5, and especially in 6, you can get really far with just a few powerful towers. Usually you'll have, like, a DPS tower, and then you'll be buffing it with, like, alchemists and stuff. But in this game, I feel like I'm just putting stuff down. There's a lot less strategy. Oh my god, I'm dead. Well, GG's.